know a lot of people are asking why the high school specifically is closed and a lot of the other schools in the district aren't, especially with younger siblings that a lot of us might have.
Yeah, another good question. So Dr. Schultz spoke to this the other night at this school board meeting. And what the governor has said, at least at this point, is that they don't want to shut down schools on a state level. So then what happens is it becomes a local school district decision, which is a superintendent decision. And what Dr. Schultz really believes strongly in at this point is becomes a school decision. So again, at the high school, we've reported most cases than any other building in the district. And we also had the staffing issues more so than any other building in the district. And that's why that led to our closure specifically at the high school. It's very wise, because what you don't want to do is have to close down an elementary school that maybe wouldn't have any cases at all, or close down a middle school if they're not having cases, or close down us because at the high school, because and actually that happened a few weeks ago. Conawago Elementary School closed down, but we didn't at the high school. So, that might be how this year is. It might be equally based decisions. So if a school needs to shut down, they shut down till they're in better shape. And then they open back up, and maybe then another school closes. That just might be par for the course for this year.
With the school closing down, how are you planning on staying motivated and positive during this time?
Me personally, Sarah?
Yes.
Yeah, so that what I try to have drive me is, to be disciplined with that mindset of control what you can control. And look, that's hard for all of us because we all get frustrated. I got to tell you, I'm frustrated with not having you guys in the building today. I'm frustrated with us being in a hybrid model this year and wish we could be back 5 days a week. There's a lot of things about this pandemic that frustrate me, but a lot of those things are out of my control. Most of those things are all out of our control. So what do you control? You can control your attitude, you control your work ethic, you control your honesty and integrity with the people that you love and that you care for. That's what you do for your mindset. And that's what I want for you guys as students too, is that I think your perspective as students, the students that I've talked to, I was walking down the hall, Haley, you remember this, and talking to seniors, and I said, what do you guys think of all this? And the seniors were like, hey, look, it is what it is. And, we know the school's doing the best you can. And, it's a pandemic and we're just trying to make the best of it. And I think if we can keep that mindset as an individual on an individual basis, we're going to be better on a collective basis. So that's my mindset, Sarah.
Okay. My question is about the 2021 seniors. So how's it looking regarding our prom and our graduation? Because we're all I feel like that's an important question that everybody's just thinking about. So that's my question.
That's a very relevant question. So, our mindset when this pandemic started last year was we want to do what we can do when we can do it as we would always do it. So, if you look at graduation from last year, for example, our mindset was, look, we're moving forward with the Giant Center, and that's what our plan was to do. While we were planning for that, we also were looking at alternatives. And we actually had a committee that was looking at different alternatives. We were seeing what other schools were doing. Pretty early on, the virtual concept was there. That's kind of the mindset that we have too. It's just like sports coming into this year. If we can do them, we're going to do them. So I guess to answer your question, Zena, and I think somebody might have the question about a vaccine and if things get better, if things get better this year, the whole goal would be we would have graduation at the Giant Center like we've always done. But we're also planning for alternatives. Now some things like prom and kind of like homecoming this past fall, it's very difficult to replicate a dance. Some things like that seem like they're just going to be pretty unrealistic to pull those off in a safe manner. So some things like that just might need to be canceled, while other things we have different alternatives for.